Rodgers went in on the Jets. Could we finally be done with Aaron Rodgers' career in the NFL? Also, an NBA playoffs mega prediction preview. We've got the play-in games tonight. Jazz Chisholm gets ejected. Jake Paul has his next fight. All that more coming up next on The Big Lead. What is up, and welcome to The Big Lead. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. If you're new to the channel, do me a huge favor, subscribe to The Big Lead. The hottest stories in sports in less than an hour. Everything you need to know on the field, on the court, off the court, and everything in between. Definitely subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. Also, for my Lakers fans, for my NBA fans, we are doing a giveaway. All you have to do is comment Luka Magic down below, and you'll be eligible for our Luka Doncic number 77 Nike Lakers authentic jersey once we hit 2,000 subscribers. So lots of Lakers on this show. This is an LA-based show, so definitely subscribe and comment down below. We've got a lot to get into, though. Lots happening in the world of sports, and we're going to start with Aaron Rodgers. How many more times will we talk about Aaron Rodgers? Well, yesterday, he was on his friend's show, the Pat McAfee show. You know that it was going to be heavy. You know there was going to be a lot to get into. And he attempted to clear the air about his situation with the New York Jets and give a glimpse into his future in the NFL if he's going to continue his playing career. Well, here was Aaron Rodgers on his future in the NFL. You want to go ahead and run that clip right now?
I meet with the coach. We start talking. He runs out of the room. I'm like, that's kind of strange. I was like, then he comes back with the GM. And I'm like, all right. So we sit down in the office. And I think we're going to have this long conversation. I've flown across the country. And 20 seconds in, he goes, literally, I'm talking to the GM about something, and he leans to the edge of his seat and goes, so do you want to play football? And I was like, yeah, I'm interested. And he said, we're going a different direction at quarterback. And I said, and I was kind of shocked. Now, not shocked because I didn't think that was a possibility. Listen, of course, they want to move on, that's totally fine. But shocked because I just flew across country. You could have told me this on the phone. If we weren't even going to have a conversation, and this is verbatim exactly how it happened. So I said, huh? And he goes, we just want to know how you want it released, the messaging. And I said, verbatim, I don't give a shit about the message. And I said, why? And then he said, I don't want to be up in front of the room saying something and have guys looking back at you.
Interesting.
And I said, what does that even mean? Are you assuming that I would be in the back of the room during a team meeting undermining what you're saying? I said, you don't know me. And he said, you don't know me. And then I said, exactly, which is why I flew across the country to have a face-to-face meeting with you to talk about my experience with the Jets and to hear your vision for the team. 20 seconds in. What I thought was going to be a couple-hour meeting turned into like a 15-minute meeting, and I walked out of there.
So you heard him right there, and he clearly had an issue with how this went down. It wasn't guaranteed he was going to continue his career with the New York Jets, but he had a problem with the messaging. So that entire meeting, having fly across country to meet with the organization, was about how do we handle this from a PR standpoint. I'm here to tell you that had they done this over text, had they done this over the phone, had they told Aaron Rodgers that, hey, over the phone, you're done. We're moving on with you. We're going a different direction. Aaron Glenn probably saying, I saw what you did to my boy Robert Saleh. You're not going to do the same thing to me. If they had done that over text, if they had done it over the phone, I guarantee you Aaron Rodgers would be on Pat McAfee's show saying, why didn't they have the guts? Why didn't they have the heart to do it in person? Why did they disrespect me like that? So really, this is just Aaron Rodgers always finding an issue with anything. And it's clear to me that he kind of wants to play, but he wants to do it in an organization where he has more control. He wants to do it in an organization where he can kind of walk all over them like he did with the New York Jets. And he did go deeper in other topics. He was asked about where he's at right now, where he's living, and he said, I'm in Malibu. I kind of live a quiet life. It's been an interesting break for me, and he's been working out a lot. He's been focusing a lot on his personal life. He also was asked about his hesitance to make a decision on the future of his NFL career, and he said, I'm in a different phase of my life. I'm 41 years old. I'm in a serious relationship. To make a commitment to a team is a big thing. Whether you're a first-year player or a 20-year vet, I had a lot of great conversations with a lot of teams. Not one of those was the Jets because that wasn't a great conversation, but I'm open to anything and attached to nothing. So yeah, retirement could still be a possibility, but right now my focus is on my personal life. If I'm a team out there, I'm saying, well, your personal life at this stage of the season is not going to help us as a team. I think he has to approach teams saying, look, I still can play the position at a top 15 to 20 quarterback level. Quarterbacks don't grow on trees. I'm a veteran. I have to be all in on my career because this impacts coaches. This impacts young players. This impacts organizations. I don't think teams want to hear him say things like that. And he was also asked about his contract demands. Says, I'm told every single one of the teams is not about the money. I've told them that. I'll play for $10 million. I don't care. And he was reiterating again that he's offered to play for $10 million in 2025, which would make him the lowest paid starting quarterback in the NFL other than the guys that are on rookie contracts. So he's saying he'd pay for $10 million. I'm telling you, Rodgers at $10 million, if it was just about the quarterback and not kind of the Aaron Rodgers circus that comes along with him, that'd be great for a lot of teams, especially because you could use that money on other things. And then he was talking about the teams he's met in free agency and the teams he's had great conversations with. He said he had a great conversation with the New York Giants and Coach Brian Daboll. He called Brian Daboll a beautiful football mind. He also said he had a great conversation with the Minnesota Vikings and their head coach, Kevin O'Connell. Said that he's a buddy of mine. And he's also said that he did visit the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he tried to do that as quietly as possible. We know that wasn't the case, and he would go further on the situation with the Steelers and his meeting with them. He said that he did speak with Coach Mike Tomlin many times, in addition to visiting their facility. He said that Tomlin is, quote, more impressive than I ever thought from afar, and he said that he visited them in part to see what life would be like in Pittsburgh. So it does feel like Pittsburgh is still somewhat of a possibility. I think that you have to have respect for a guy like Mike Tomlin. And certainly Aaron Rodgers realizes that no matter what he's going to do in Pittsburgh, it's not going to break the foundation of that franchise. And he would go on about the possibility of becoming a Steeler. He said, this entire time, I haven't felt like I owed anybody any decision at any point. I've been upfront with them about that. I've said, hey, listen, if you need to move on, by all means. There's been no deadline. I'm trying to be open to everything and not specifically attached to anything. I'm not holding anybody hostage. When the commitment is made, it has to be an all-in type of commitment. I don't think it was fair for the Steelers or anyone while I'm dealing with a lot of that off the field, on the field stuff that people need to know about. So, yeah, this sounds like he definitely is still interested in playing football, that he wants to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers preferably. And I do think that if I'm the Steelers and you need a quarterback, he's a better option than a lot of guys that are out there. I think that the Steelers really are the only franchise I would want to see him play for. And that's because if you throw him into a weak situation, which the New York Jets were, the Jets have been in a 40-year darkness retreat with the way that they have performed on the field. Yeah, clearly, if things don't go his way there, he's going to be able to do what he wants, right? I mean, facilitating a trade for Devontae Adams. I mean, leading that team to 5 wins is really not what they had hoped for. And then he suffered the injury the year prior. But I think with the Pittsburgh Steelers, I don't think they're going to win a Super Bowl, Aaron Rodgers. But I do think that Mike Tomlin, my trust level in Tomlin, it's a situation where if he likes him, I love it for them. Because Mike Tomlin is certainly that guy. So we'll see what happens with Aaron Rodgers. I think that he's going to play. I think that he does have some football left in him. And let's be honest, the quarterback play in the NFL outside the top 10 to 15 guys is not great. And I think there's been a drop off in that position the last couple of years. And Aaron Rodgers can still play that position at a league average to an above average level. Every statistic points that out. So if he really wants to hang him up, knowing that he can still play in this league, then that's going to be a decision that he's going to make. But J-Rob, what do you make of Aaron Rodgers' comments about the Jets and how he handled himself there?
I mean, I really love that they trolled him and made him go all the way across the country to tell him that we don't want him. I mean, is that not something Aaron Rodgers would do to another team? Ask them to fly out to California to see him just to tell them that they're not going to play for him. And for him to not understand Aaron Glenn's commentary about the team looking at you, Aaron, you have been a player who has made a lot of decisions based off what you have personally felt. Yes, the players look at you because you're the guy that doesn't come to OTAs all the time. You leave and miss days to go to Egypt. This is the type of player you've been. And so nobody wants to be held hostage by you. And D-Mac, at this age, the juice just isn't worth the squeeze. I told you before, I think it is time for him to head towards retirement. And look, he could tell me till he's blue in the face that all these teams are interested. D-Mac, I don't think anybody really wants Aaron Rodgers. I really, truly in my soul feel like if teams were that interested in Aaron Rodgers, he'd be signed to a NFL franchise right now. A $10 million for him not to sign for $10 million, that should tell you everything you need to know that the league feels about him at this stage. And look, 1 year with the Steelers might be nice, but where does that take them, D-Mac? A wild card, maybe a wild card. Maybe a wild card, because listen, if Cleveland is somewhat decent with Cam Ward or whoever they get at quarterback, I mean, the Steelers have been really an average at best team. They haven't really been great. They've kind of just snuck in on great coaching, but not really a great talented roster. And so Aaron Rodgers is not a needle mover to me. It's kind of humbling to see that he's starting to realize like the NFL is not going to bend the knee per se to Aaron Rodgers.
The truth is, though, I mean, look, Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than Justin Fields right now. Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than Russell Wilson right now. The numbers last year told you that in a bad organization for the Jets. And I do think, yeah, the Jets did troll him for sure. There's no doubt about that. But let's be honest here. Aaron Rodgers himself has the same amount of Super Bowls as the Jets do.
Come on,
in their franchise.
Come on,
I mean, the Jets, Aaron Rodgers has the same number of Super Bowls than the Jets have in the last 56 years, right? So, I mean, I think the Jets aren't that franchise to be doing guys like that. I mean, let's be honest. They're the Clippers with a championship. Right?
Why are you trolling me now?
I'm not trolling you. I respect you. Dude, I'm a UCLA fan. They're worse than what the Jets are in the NFL, right?
I feel you, bro.
But
You're right. You're right.
I'm just saying, like, look, I respect. If I'm Aaron Glenn, I would have won Aaron Rodgers back, right? I would want a clean slate. I would want my guy. I wouldn't want that. But I also think, like, man, if look, at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers, the last part of his career has definitely kind of put a little stain on what has been one of the best careers for any quarterback. I mean, he is objectively a top 5 to 10 quarterback in the history of the game. And it's sad that it's gone this way. I mean, we've seen guys like, legends in other sports kind of have a more graceful ending to their career. Hasn't necessarily been the case for Aaron Rodgers. And look, he kind of embraces and kind of lives in the weirdness of how he handles things. And it's unfortunate for him. I'm not like the biggest Aaron Rodgers guy. I just think that for me, it's more like a reminder that the quarterback play has diminished across league. Tom Brady's talked about this. And I just think he can still play. I mean, he can still play. And look, here's the thing. If Aaron Rodgers is on the Steelers and it's Thursday Night Football, are you more likely to watch that game?
Of course.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Of course.
He still has that like star power. He's still good enough. Like, I mean, there's some guys where it's like it's gone. Like it's completely,
the juice is
absolutely
gone.
gone.
Yeah, I
like
agree.
there's like they can't help a guy. They can't help a team out there. And he still has that ability. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm kind of here for the crap show and all this. And I mean, I don't think the Steelers play the Jets next year, but
I wish they did.
But that would
I would
be-
love that for them to be on the schedule.
that would be must see TV. But I like the Jets going a different direction. And look, this is just something that they had to do. I'm just surprised that they did it this way. But switching gears, Damian Lillard is back for the Milwaukee Bucks. It's really it feels like, when we talked about on the show, kind of a miracle situation, because Shams Charania had tweeted out that he was back, and it's kind of like a miracle situation. I mean, you look at blood clots. I mean, it seems like the minimum is 6 months with the blood thinners and things like that. He looks like he could still be out for the first game of their series with the Pacers, but just having him back, I mean, that's great for him. It's great for a Bucks team that went all in to try to get him, to pair him alongside Giannis Antetokounmpo. And I think if you're Damian Lillard, you're just trying to get back on the court as soon as you can. Hope that your team can step up early in that series, because I think that him coming back in the first round, getting 30, 40 from Dame, I mean, I don't know how Superman he is. It does feel like it's just a little bit unrealistic to expect that. Game 2 of the series, maybe. Shams Charania did report that the doctors told the Bucks that Dame's quick recovery, quote, has never been seen before, but it happened thanks to early detection and treatment. And Dame has been on medication to treat that blood clot. So yeah, he hasn't played since March 18th. He missed the Bucks' final 14 games of the season. In his absence, the Bucks did go 10-4. They did win their final 8 games. They finished the number 5 seed in the Western Conference. And yeah, I mean, this is pretty awesome. I mean, you want to have as many stars as you can. Damian Lillard, I think Dame's kind of one of those guys. Like, is there a Dame hater? Like, does Dame have haters? I'm pretty sure he's pretty much like the non-hated player. I mean, he was kind of like, oh, got to save him in Portland. In Portland, he doesn't have enough talent around him. He was going against that tough Warriors team for so many years. Still can hoop, man. Averaged 24.9 points per game, 7.1 assists, 4.7 boards, 38% on 524 3-point attempts. And yeah, I think this is a spark for them. I really do. I mean, during the season, the Bucks went 3-1 against Indiana this year. So if I'm Indiana, I'm like, man, he's going to be back at some point. And I think this Bucks team, they're kind of a sleeper team in the Eastern Conference. And we're going to jump to our playoff predictions. So it's going to be a kind of a quick hitter. We'll go round for round here. We'll go round for round. And of course, we got some playing games tonight, and we'll get into those in a little bit. But kind of starting with that Bucks series, I got the Pacers are good for sure. I got to go. I got Dame's back, and that's giving a spark. I think Giannis still. I mean, you can make the case he's the third or fourth best player in these playoffs. Maybe second. He's put up MVP numbers once again. Really, it is that group of guys with Shea, Luka, and Joker and Giannis, right? I mean, those are the top dogs during these playoffs. But I got to go. I've always loved me the Bucks, man. I love Giannis, dude. And I know some people think he's kind of corny. He's got those dad jokes. You see him, Mikal Bridges?
Yeah.
Or no,
Malik Beasley.
Malik Beasley doing his celebration. That was hilarious, bro. I think Malik Beasley was actually legit pissed.
A little bit. I mean, they squashed it after, like they hugged after, but I think in the moment he was a little annoyed.
Hey, I love that. And Giannis, and the thing is, like, yeah, get to know with me, bro. Like, I would not want to fight. That'd be a fun thing. Like, the players that you least would want to fight in the NBA.
Giannis is definitely one of them.
He's one of those guys, he's like nice till he isn't, probably. I'm going Bucks. I'm going Bucks in 7. I think I'll go 7.
Yeah, I'm taking some of your juice. After my playing results so far, I need some of your picks right now. But I'm definitely going to go with the Bucks in this series. I think the Dame dynamic now completely changes. So I'm going to take the Bucks in 6, actually.
Bucks in 6?
Bucks in 6.
See, I like that. Bucks in 6. You got a Pacers team that, I mean, it's the Pacers, right? They never kind of get the kind of the attention they kind of deserve.
Yeah.
Because of the franchise they're at. But I like that. Now, how about
I'm gonna just jump in real quick. I'm a big Pacers guy. You know,
you're a big Pacers guy.
I love Tyrese Halliburton. And I think he's been underserved, especially during the Olympics. I feel like it's his time to really rise up, show what he can do for the organization. Pascal Siakam, he's obviously a champion in and of himself. So I feel like maybe it will be the Bucks, but I feel like the Pacers are young, they're ready to fight, and I feel like this is their moment.
What the Halliburton?
I like that. There we go.
Okay.
How about let's go Boston Magic. So the Magic, they won the season series 2-1. Yeah, Jason Tatum didn't play in both those losses. And look, this is a Boston team that, they're the kind of epitome of analytics heavy basketball in 2025. Lots of threes. They're going to spread out the court. You got Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Drew Holiday. You got Kristaps Porzingis. I got Celtics in 5 in that one. I got Celtics in 5. What you got, J-Rob?
Honestly, I think it might be a sweep.
You got a sweep now?
I think to just get them up out of there. I feel like the defending champs, they're built for it. I think they're going to be that team to beat for sure.
Yeah, that's a good series right there for the Celtics to kind of just start things off. They want to go back to back. That's a team that's kind of waiting for this playoff run. Knicks Pistons, I think that's the one I'm circling as my favorite first round matchup. It's that lineup for the Knicks. They have a lot of chemistry. It's the most commonly played lineup. You got Karl Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson. The Pistons, they're one of the big improving teams this year. 30 wins, better than they were last year. That's going to be an interesting one. You got a young Pistons team. I think the Knicks are just a weird team, though. They lose games that they probably shouldn't sometimes, but I think the Garden coming alive. I got the Knicks in 6 in that one.
Yeah, I'm going to take Knicks in 6 as well. I think this will be a scrappy series, though.
Yeah, hopefully it's kind of like some 90s Eastern Conference feel
for sure.
In that one. That one, I think it's going to be interesting to see if you can get like a Cade Cunningham coming out party. And just how good. The Knicks are kind of the wild card in the East to me, just because there's a lot of talent there.
Yeah.
I feel like Madison Square Garden is almost like a 6-man. Just
100%.
Having the presence of that. So I look for a good series. I'm hoping if I could pick one team, I'd love to see the Knicks come out of the East. Will it happen? I'm not so sure.
I would love it too, honestly.
They've always been, I have my super side teams. Mm-hmm. You got to have your side chicks, or not you. Some people. But no, you got to have your side teams, right?
Yeah.
Knicks is definitely like my side team. Yeah.
I would say, obviously I grew up in Knicks. I would say the Lakers are my side team. Well, I would say whoever LeBron is my side team.
Yeah,
but
LeBron.
But then I would say the Knicks are my main team. I would love it for the city, man. Like I always say, we've been cursed since Patrick Ewing.
Go New York, go.
Yes.
Go. Yeah, no, it's awesome. Cleveland versus Atlanta or Miami, of course, is going to be tough, but I don't care if it's Atlanta or Miami. I'm taking Cleveland in that one. The Cleveland team, I think, is ready to pop. I really think that they're a team that, hey, if you haven't been paying attention all season long, you better start paying attention now. They have the NBA's top offensive rating, 121 points per 100 possessions, 64 wins on the season. That's the most since the 08-09 season when they won 66. That Cleveland team with Donovan Mitchell, with Mobley, you added Hunter. I love this Cleveland team. I'm going Cleveland. Miami is probably good for a win at home if they win, but I'm going with a sweep in that series. Cleveland, bring out the broomsticks.
I'm with you, bro. Let's get the broomsticks out. Let's get the Swiffers. I think Cleveland is going to have a great playoffs. Like I have them in my Western Conference Finals. I think they are. Doug, they were probably the surprise of the year for me, the way they play basketball this season. Yeah,
absolutely. They've been great for sure. Then, heading over to the Western Conference, you got OKC versus Memphis. I got the Memphis in this. I'm just going to say it right now. I'm just going to say it right now. Not in this. No, I'm saying in that game.
Oh.
But I got Memphis winning 2 games a series. I do think that they'll take 2. I think the Thunder will win in 6. What do you think about that one, Noel? You got how many? Yeah. You think they're going to sweep? Really? I don't know, man. I'll believe when I see it. Obviously the Thunder, the regular season, they've been great. 3rd in offensive rating, 1st in defensive rating. They have the league's best net plus rating at 12.7. They're great. And that's the 2nd best net rating in NBA history at plus 12.7 points per 100 possessions. They've been great, but I just know that I think that Memphis team is just they're a fun team with Ja is looking to reestablish himself as one of the best players in the league. I think that it could be a little test for the Thunder. I think that how meaningful basketball have they played? right? They haven't been playing meaningful basketball in a long time because they've been so good, right? So sometimes that happens. You get a couple haymakers early, and Memphis has been playing for their lives for a long time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, who you got in that series?
I mean, I'm going to take Oklahoma City. I'm going to throw you a bone. I'm not going to give you 6 games. I'm going to give you 5. I think we might have one John Morant grenade game in there that'll get that one. We get in one of those for sure. And I think that'll be the haymaker you were talking about. You know, sometimes you could be a victim of your own success. But I mean, D-Mac, Oklahoma City is a real juggernaut. I can't see them winning more than one game.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just kind of hoping for it.
Yeah.
And I do think that I think for OKC, like they have an A in the regular season, an A plus really essentially.
Yeah.
But I'm in the postseason now, and I think you wipe the slate clean, and you could still get an A, but you're starting with nothing, right? You got to earn it. So I'm not one of those teachers who gives you the A and then you have a bad.
Right.
To me, it's clean slate. And are they capable of it? Do they have the talent for it? 100%. But let's see if this is the year that they truly realize that potential and they break through.
Yeah.
Rockets, Warriors. This is a clash of different styles. Golden State, they won the season series. It was a close season series. They outscored Houston 517 to 509. And the Rockets, they held the Warriors. This is the thing, though. This is why no one wants to pick the Rockets, because the Rockets don't have superstars. The Rockets don't have brand names, right? That's why, right? If the Rockets were a year ahead and they had already traded for KD or whoever it is, they'd be a much sexier team, a much more delicious team in the NBA. But no, because it's the Rockets, they kind of hang their hat on defense. You got young players. You're going against the Warriors and Steph Curry. By the way, if you want to feel old, look at Riley Curry.
Yo, what?
Bro, she's older than me.
I looked at that video. I said, what? I said,
It's
Lord
crazy.
have mercy.
It's insane.
Like,
It's
she's about to go to
insane.
college now.
But where the hell has... I remember when she's like, Daddy, be
Yes.
quiet, Daddy.
Yes.
Still remember that.
I'm like, yo,
Time's going too fast.
Yeah,
And her
real.
dad's still hooping.
For real.
But the Rockets, they held the Warriors to less than 100 points in 3 of the 5 games. So they have shown that, hey, as great as that Warriors offense they've been great with Jimmy Butler. And I think that's the big kicker. And that's why I think the Warriors will ultimately win this series. But I think it's going to be a dogfight. I really do. I think the Warriors win this series in 7 games. I think it's going to be a 7-game series. I think that Rockets team is going to be the absolute kind of thorn in their, this series, and they're going to have to grind their way to a series win. I need some 7-game series. I'm going that one in 7. How about you, Noel? You going to your Rockets at all, or?
Warriors in 5 or 6. I don't think they're going to have to score now to keep up with the Warriors.
So you followed all these teams all year, and you claim to be a fans of them, and then you predict early exits for Memphis and Houston. Are you really that?
Go ahead and KC and Warriors.
He putting you on the spot right now.
You got to be realistic at some point.
Okay, fine. I'm trying. Okay, the little Laker fanboy in me from 3rd grade is trying to get the Warriors to play 7 games and the Rockets so they can have an easier opponent in the second round. But how do you see that series playing out? How many games for the Rockets or the Warriors? Where you got?
I'm going to do what Noel wasn't willing to do. I'm going to take the Houston Rockets in 7 games. I'm going to take Houston. We have a problem. You feel me? Houston, we have a problem. I'm going
Warriors
to take
have a
them.
problem.
Warriors have a problem. I'm going to take the Houston Rockets at 7. I understand maybe the scoring prowess might not be the same as the Warriors, but that defense is electric. And I'm going to say this. Amen Thompson is going to play some of the best defense you'll ever see on Stephen Curry. Now, he's not going to stop him, but you just want to limit him a little bit, make him a little bit uncomfortable. And so,
Amen to that.
Amen to that. And so I'm going to take the Houston Rockets in 7 games.
I love it.
I feel like they got to have a coming out party, D-Mac. This young team has to show themselves into the world. And I think this is the moment they say, NBA world, we are here. And I love the head coach. They got one of the best head coaches in basketball. He's not going to get coach of the year, not going to get any credit. But Ime Udoka is one of the 3 to 5 best NBA coaches that the league has to offer.
I like it. That's a bold pick, baby. We've got Lakers, Wolves. We kind of talked about this one in depth. I still think the Lakers win this series in 6 games. I think Minnesota, their size is going to be the big question as far as the Lakers having one playable big, but Julius Randle, if he hits his mid-range shot, if he's a high variance player. Anthony Edwards, best player in this series for Minnesota, hasn't been great against the Lakers throughout his career, Luka Doncic eats against the Wolves. I got the Lakers in 6.
Minnesota, Coca-Cola turned the ball over.
I like
Lakers
it.
in 5.
I like it. Lakers in 5, baby. That's a pick that I hope that we see, and then you see your other series too, and then you get 5 games there, 7 games there. Then they'll be in a good position to take the second round series, and then I think you look at the rest of these series, and you kind of look at the one that really kind of opens your eyes. It's that Denver Clippers series, and I think that the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard, we did an in-depth preview of that yesterday. Kawhi Leonard is playoff Kawhi Leonard. And if he's healthy like he's been great lately. Denver relies so heavily on Jokic. You look at those plus-minus stats with Jokic off the floor when he's on and off. I think the Clippers are ready to win. I really, really do. I hope Denver wins. I think the Clippers win this one. I think it's going to be a hard-fought, longer series. I think the Clippers take this one in 6 games.
Yeah, I'm with you too. I'm taking the Clippers in 6 games. Listen, I love the duo of Murray and Jokic. I think they are dynamic together. But the problem is, I'm just not really too all in on the supporting cast. But I am more all in on that bench over there with the Clippers. And so I'm going to take them in 6 games. And I prefer the coaching matchup too.
Yeah. And my boy Norman Powell, he's absolutely torched the Nuggets this season. 27.8 points in 4 games, shooting 48.7% from 3. I think he's the MVP of the series, Norman Powell. No, I'm just playing. It'll be fun. But yeah, I got the Clippers. But yeah, the first round is going to be electric. I think this is going to be let's be honest. The NBA, they haven't had a good NBA finals in seriously almost a decade, right? The NBA playoffs have not been great last couple of years. The ratings have been down. And I think this is going to be a comeback year for the NBA. I think the ratings are going to be up. I think you'll get good matchups. I think the Warriors-Lakers in the second round is going to be marquee box office. The Lakers versus anyone is going to be great for the league for sure. I think it's going to be a great playoffs. But switching gears, talk about a little Jazz Chisholm. Jazz Chisholm was ejected yesterday. He was arguing balls and strikes. It clearly was a ball. It was the 6th pitch of the at-bat. It was called a strike, a 98.8 mile per hour fastball from Montgomery. And yeah, it looked like a makeup call after the last pitch, and clearly Jazz Chisholm did not agree with the call. He said that was way outside, and he gets ejected. And after the game, he actually ends up tweeting out, "Not even effing close." Then he ends up deleting it. But yeah, this was a definite bad call, and we need to see the ABS system. We have the ability to challenge balls and strikes. We need to see that sooner than later. Jazz has gotten ejected a good amount last couple of years. He's kind of cleaned that up. But yeah, I mean, look, Jazz Chisholm getting up to a interesting start, to say the least. Has the 6 home runs, but he's batting under 200. He's basically been like the 40th best player in baseball, kind of around that. I think he brings a spark. I think this ejection here is people are kind of looking too much into it, like he's bad Jazz Chisholm again or something like that that's disrupting the locker room. But hey, I'm not mad at it. But what do you think about your boy getting ejected?
That's going to happen. That call was egregious. It was egregious, and they need to put that system in early. I truly feel like sometimes in sports, passion is going to be there. Like if you feel like you're being, getting one overblown by the refs, sometimes you're going to have that moment. Like it is what it is. And honestly, D-Mac, anybody with a decent pair of eyes, Stevie Wonder could have seen that. You know what I'm saying? Like that was just too egregious. And so sometimes you're going to lose it in the moment. And I just feel like at least in that moment, it was something that was warranted instead of something that could have been avoided.
Yeah, absolutely.
It could have been avoided as well, but still.
I mean, it goes over 3, so you kind of it's later in the game, so you hate to lose him for at-bats and things like that. But yeah, no, for sure. I mean, he's definitely, I think, been embraced in New York. I 100%. Think that a lot of guys can't handle it up there. I just want to see him have more success. I mean, I think for him, it's just about being a more consistent hitter. Mm-hmm. And hopefully this gives him a spark, right? Kind of put some life into him. But yeah, get the ABS system, man. I mean, it's getting old. I mean, it's for some reason Major League Baseball is stuck in the dark ages when it comes to umpiring and refereeing. It's insane. Right. It's absolutely embarrassing. I have a long-standing theory that the current umpires are investors in the ABS system, and that my conspiracy is that's why they make calls like they did yesterday to get this new system in place, because then they can get paid off it. So that's just kind of my theory in this all. Now tonight we got 2 games. Man, Friday night playing. Are you kidding me? This is incredible. Cannot wait for the play-in tournament to continue tonight. You got Dallas and the Grizzlies. So I kind of already gave you my pick by kind of tipping off where I was at with that. But who knows? I mean, man, Anthony Davis kind of balling out the way he has. This Mavericks team having a chip on their shoulder. Nico Harrison trying to save face any way he can, trying to justify that trade. And the only way you can feel better about it is if the Mavericks win. The Grizzlies, though, I look at a Grizzlies team that gave that Warriors team everything they could handle there. And the Mavs, they're interesting in the sense that if you go out there and you're Anthony Davis and you get the best of the matchup with Jaren Jackson Jr., you got to feel good. I mean, the battle on the inside, 2 talented bigs. Davis, that usage rate has been sky high, 32.5% on Wednesday, 31.6% in the regular season. That would be his highest usage rate 8 seasons. So they're going back to using Anthony Davis like he was with the Pelicans. That's how much he's getting used in Dallas. In Jackson, he also has taken on a bigger role in Memphis. His usage rate has gone up as well. So both those guys are, I think, going to ultimately determine who wins this game. It's not a one-on-one game, right? Even though we should see that the All-Star break, that would save the All-Star Saturday night. But it's a fascinating matchup. I think the Grizzlies win because the Grizzlies, yes, they haven't been awesome against great teams this year. They have gone 36-9 this year against teams that were struggling all season long, and then you had 16 wins against teams that finished below 500. And kind of this Grizzlies team, it's really John Morant, it's Desmond Bane. I mean, they went off. He has combined for 52 points against the Warriors on Tuesday. Now the Mavs, their best perimeter defenders, Dante Exum and Max Christie, they're coming off the bench, and both of them played less than 20 minutes against Sacramento. So how do they match up with those 2 guys? My big question. I do think that Memphis wins this game. I really do.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Dallas?
Yeah, I'm taking Memphis as well. I got Memphis as well. The only thing that does concern me about this matchup is watching Zach Edey perform against the Golden State Warriors. He's kind of a liability for them, and it's maybe a little bit of the inexperience. But they really exploited him in that matchup, and I know Dallas saw that. And so I think my biggest concern about the game is that matchup of Anthony Davis, Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively, all these bigs being thrown at Zach Edey. And so that concerns me, but I am going to take the Grizzlies to bring this one home.
What do you think happened with Zach Edey in that party? Remember at Purdue?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
that
about.
video. I always wonder what happened there. What do you think
I think he was just going through his notes.
That was like his tutor?
Yeah,
that was probably his tutor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were sharing notes.
Because athletes get the tutors, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'd be waking up at 3:30 in the morning sometimes, just wondering what the hell happened with Zach Edey and that girl right there. And then the Eastern Conference, the Miami Heat and the Atlanta Hawks. We talked a lot about Trae Young yesterday, and I think really the biggest thing is how you defend Trae Young in the pick and roll. If you have success with Trae Young in the pick and roll, or just try to minimize the damage as much as possible, you got to feel pretty good about your chances. And the way that they kind of play that, you likely probably have Andrew Wiggins to start the game on him like the way they started against Chicago. But the other important question is just defending the pick and roll with Young. I mean, it's kind of insane. 3,495 ball screens this season. That's 777 more than any other team. I mean, that's what you're going to get with Trae Young. And look, Young, he can still pass, he can still shoot. You saw against the Magic, they kind of took away the assist opportunities and his ability to pass there. Trae Young went just 8 for 21, had 18 passes that led to a shot. So that's kind of the big question for the Miami Heat is just how do you limit their best players' production, and How do you defend that pick and roll? I think Tyler Hero versus Dyson Daniels is another matchup that's going to be really interesting. I mean, Tyler Hero's had a really big leap this season, and I think it's a good situation for him, quite frankly, getting out from underneath Jimmy Butler, not having him kind of take over there. And I think that that's kind of part of the benefit of you making that trade is giving Tyler Hero the keys to this organization. And Daniels, he missed the first 4 head-to-head matchups in this one, and he's going to get the assignment of Tyler Hero here. I think with Young being put into all those actions throughout the entire game, it's going to either wear down this Heat team or it's going to or the Heat are going to have a good scheme against it, and I think the Heat could win handily, but it's going to be a really good one. This is a tough one for me to predict, though. It really is. Yeah. I mean, the Hawks are a team that could easily beat the Heat. I mean, you look at the matchups that they've had this season, 99.5 points per 100 possessions in the 2 games in Atlanta, but then the 132.5 points per 100 possessions in the 2 in Miami. So, yeah, it's going to be a really interesting matchup. I think the Heat somehow win this one, though. The Heat, a superior organization. You have Tyler Hero, a superior coach. That's what wins in this one. Give me the Miami Heat. Shout out to the 305. Shout out to Rick Ross. Shout out to Pitbull, Dan Marino,
DJ
Khaled. What does he do? But we the best. Who you got though?
This
ATL versus Miami. To the great like hip hop cultures.
Sure. 100%.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, D-Man. This is a hard game to call.
It's a tough one.
This is like a legitimate. Like I would rather just flip a coin and see where it landed. I'm gonna be honest, because I am a legitimate fan of Trae Young's game. I know a lot of people I think he's a winning basketball player. If you've seen just the playoffs going to Eastern Conference Finals, he's done a lot in Atlanta that he doesn't get enough credit for. I'm gonna believe in him. I'm gonna believe in him, and I'm gonna believe that Dyson Daniels is going to limit Tyler Hero.
I'm not mad at that.
So
I really am not mad at that.
And they're at home, right? They get to play this game at home. Boosie Bag gonna be on the sideline going crazy for the Hawks. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to take
Hawks crowd. You never know what you're gonna get though. Like either they're like into it or just a place to be seen.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, and the kind of same goes with Miami too, right? I mean, I'll never forget all those fans that didn't get back into Game 6 and the Gold Road game, Ray Allen, right? That still haunts them. So, but I think Friday night in Atlanta though, Friday night in the ATL, like it's. By the way, yeah. Everyone says you don't call it. Like I was like, I have a friend from Atlanta. I was like, man, what's life like at the ATL? After he's like, bro. Well, first of all, no one ever calls it the ATL. You know, and they call it Atlanta. They don't even they don't even pronounce the T. You know, trying to get there for the MLB All-Star game, learn more because I'm clearly uncultured in Atlanta. So I'm gonna work on that.
We got to get those wings.
Gotta get the wings.
That lemon pepper Lou left the bubble for, you know.
And you know where I'm trying to go when I go to Atlanta.
Exactly.
You know,
we're going just for the
where
wings.
I'm trying to go.
We're just going for the wings.
For Atlanta, and hopefully, you know, Atlanta can strip the ball away from Tyler Hero and the gang tonight. But big fight. Jake Paul.
Oh my God.
Jake Paul is going to face former champion Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. on June 20. We should bring in James here from the Beatdown Breakdown. James, where you at?
James
from the Beatdown Breakdown.
James, man.
Hey,
come sit down.
Hey, no, sit.
Come here, James.
We got, how many mics we got? Come in here and break. We need you for the Beatdown Breakdown.
Please.
We need it for the Beatdown Breakdown. Jake Paul, he's going to take the next step to becoming the world champion when he faces former WBC middleweight champion Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. on June 28 at the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. It's going to be pretty incredible. The 10-round fight, which MVP will co-promote with Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions, will be contested at the weight limit of 200 pounds and air on DAZN on pay-per-view. We're going to bring in a UFC expert from the podcast, The Beatdown Breakdown, Newsweek's James Bruzuela. James, what are your thoughts on this fight? You recently talked to Jake Paul. What's your reaction to this matchup?
I mean, honestly, this is a really, really huge fight for Jake. He's been, he's got an 11-1 record, I believe. He lost to Tommy Fury, and that's the only loss that he has so far. But right now, we're coming up on a really, really big fight for him. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is no joke. The guy's got 50 plus fights under his belt. He's a former champion, really, this is the fight to me that if Jake wins, we have to take him 100% serious because he's already, I mean, he fought Mike Tyson, but, you know, we can talk about.
Oh, don't start. No. That was WWE.
We can talk about.
I am not hear that. I am not trying to hear he fought Mike Tyson.
I know. He fought Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's 58 years old. Doesn't count, right? We're going to just scratch that one. But right now, Jake Paul taking on Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is a big deal. If he wins this fight, I mean, he's already talked about the other fights that he wants to take on. He wants to face Anthony Joshua in 2026. He also told me that Gervonta Davis is next in line as well. There's a lot of fighters that are coming at him. And legitimately, if he beats Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., he can pick anybody. He's the money fight right now. Canelo Alvarez didn't go because he wanted to make the bigger deal, which fine, that's all good. But Jake Paul beats Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He's legitimate. We have to take him seriously. And he's going to be fighting way higher upper echelon talent after this win, if he gets it. Even if he doesn't get it, if the fight is close, he's still a legitimate contender, in my opinion.
So, I mean, would you think that this is 100% legit, right? I mean, Chavez would not take on this fight if it was not a completely commission, legit, 100% okay. This is not okay. We're going to let Jake Paul win to continue his ascent, right? You completely bought into that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, this is a legitimate fight. I mean, if I was hoping that he was going to take on Canelo, but at the same time, I was kind of worried about that one because I'm like, is Canelo going to take it seriously? I don't want to say he would throw the fight. I don't want to throw that out there. I'm just saying, like, I wasn't sure about the legitimacy of that. But the fact that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is taking on Jake Paul, this is a serious fight. This is a serious fight for both parties because let's put it on Chavez. If he loses to Jake Paul, you're losing to a YouTuber. Let's just say that out flat, right? But if
you know what they say, right?
What?
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to get an invitation to fight Jake Paul. Isn't that the rule?
I mean, that's a good quote. You know, we're channeling Batman, but you know,
I did that for you because you're a big Batman guy.
I am a big Batman guy. The fact of the matter is this: like, Jake Paul has been fighting. He fought a bunch of former MMA guys. Obviously, like Ben Askren, that's not a good one. But Tyron Woodley, Nate Diaz, these are all really tough guys, really strong strikers. Even Mike Perry, you know, he's been building his competition up every single opponent. We're going to scratch Mike Tyson because, come on, Mike Tyson.
So you're in on Jake Paul all the way.
I'm in on Jake Paul because, like, he's not shying away. To me, when he revealed that the Canelo Alvarez fight was going to go down, I was like, this is legitimate. Like, that's a real boxer.
Yeah.
And now Chavez, that's a real boxer. Former champion, more than 50 fights under his belt. I mean, this is the legitimate.
And what's
guy.
the age? Is he, I mean, like prime wise? Like, I mean, is it close? Because I think over 50 fights, right?
Yeah, I think he's Chavez is like 35 or 36 years old. I mean, he's not old in terms of, you know, the competition. He's an older boxer for sure. He's got a lot of experience, and that's the thing too. Like, this is a lot of experience for Jake to go up against. If he wins,
got it.
People can't discount him anymore.
For sure. I just think it's just weird when you go, like, I just want to see him consistently fight. Like, I don't want to say like normal dudes. Like the Mike Tyson thing threw me off. Like, I didn't pay for that fight. No one did, but I still wanted my money back. Like, that's how bad it was. People who won that fight were the ones that didn't watch it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, all I remember that from that fight was Roy Jones Jr. not liking Mike Tyson's legs. Them said that a million times. And it's something about the mouthpiece and this and that. I mean, if he wants to further legitimize his career with fights like this, then I think that's admirable.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, like, this is a step up in competition. And again, without talking about Mike Tyson, this is that fight for Jake Paul. This is that upper echelon guy. This is the legitimate boxer. And going back to what I said previously, he's already got Anthony Joshua that they already kind of verbally agreed to a fight in 2026. And then you got Gervonta Davis, who also expressed interest in fighting Jake Paul. And Jake Paul also told me that that's who he's aiming to fight too. Even if Chavez wasn't the matchup this summer, those two fights would legitimize him too. So, I mean, you get in the ring with Chavez, win or lose, you're still looking at a big money fight against Anthony Joshua and Gervonta Davis down the line. He's a legitimate boxer at this point, in my opinion.
I love it, man. You got me hyped for the fight. Yeah. So here we go. We got James Brazilla from the Beatdown Breakdown Newsweek's James Brazilla. Appreciate you joining us here on the big lead. And we also have J-Rob. I mean, reaction to this match. I mean, I mean, he kind of sold me on Jake Paul. I mean, a little bit.
Honest, I'm definitely one of those people who kind of like Jake Paul in boxing. I feel like he's been a draw. And I do think, like, I know he gets a lot of scrutiny, but D-Mac, I do think he takes it serious. Like, I do think he puts the work in. And for me, I'm just one of those people that's like, if you put in the work in, then I'll respect it. Because he literally can do anything else. He can do anything else he wants to do. And he continues to train and keeps going at this boxing thing. And so if he puts this guy down after fighting a legitimate boxer, not talking about Mike Tyson, talking about Tommy Fury, I mean, I think James hit on the nose. He will be the draw in boxing. And you will see a big name boxer take that fight because he'll be $100 million fight. No doubt.
Wow. I'm in it for the entertainment factor, but if you know anything about me, like I only mess with like the best of the best.
I'm already knowing.
And I just don't think that he's the best of the best or has the potential to be that. So like that's why it's like it's still kind of WWE to me. But I'm not hating. I sound like a hater, but like I'm not hating.
I get where you're coming from. You want to see the best competition.
Like it's like I'm like, hey, like does he have a chance to go down as like this like top 10, top 10? You know what I mean? Like that's kind of where I'm at with like pretty much following all these guys.
Yeah.
But hey, people pay to watch him. He brings in interest. All the love in the world. He said 5 years ago, I stepped in the ring for my pro debut after a single amateur fight, and every single fight since has been a step towards becoming a world champion. I just defeated the baddest man on the planet, and now I'm going against a former champion who Conman Canelo couldn't finish. Like, I mean, he's 39. Like, why can't he fight someone who's like 29? But like, seriously, like why? Like Canelo would Canelo whoop on Jake Paul? Like, would it like be like would it not even be close? I mean, you guys tell me.
I mean, I don't think he's ready for a Canelo right now at all.
Well, I'm out then. Like, I'm out. Like,
he's not ready for that.
Will he ever be ready?
I mean, I have to see this next fight because the thing is like, I feel like with boxing, it's one of those sports where like, it's almost like if you've been a chef for 10 years and I've been a chef for 2, there's just so much ground I have to cover to get to even somewhere close where maybe we can actually like have a cook-off.
Yeah.
And so I just think with him, he has to get to somewhere like a middle ground where he's adept enough skill-wise to at least take it on. Like, I don't think he could take the fight on right now. Like, I just don't think it would be good for him. I feel like fighting this guy, at least, he's going to punch back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
The whole thing is like one time I asked Dodgers pitcher Tyler Glasnow, he can throw 100 miles per hour. I said, hey, if I was in the batter's box against you and I had 100 chances to hit your fastball, could I get a hit?
Right.
He said you wouldn't even foul one off, right? But I'm pretty sure if he was like 55,
right,
and I got 100 chances, like, and I was like in my young prime, probably at least foul one out. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yeah. So that's my whole thing. It's like play dudes in their prime. But hey, I guess I'll go against the grain when it comes to Jake Paul. But let's end this on some quick ones. We got the best basketball movies. So this list is the best basketball movies. So let me pull this up right here. You know, I love me a basketball movie. And it's a great time of year to watch because, gets you hype, gets you ready to rock. And let's see what we have. Actually, these are the top 15. This is the top 15 basketball movies. Coming at 15 is Semi-Pro. Semi-Pro is a good movie. Will Ferrell. You got to 13. We got to 14 Rebound. Never saw it. 13 Glory Road. 12 The Sixth Man. Never saw it. 11 Blue Chips. Love Blue Chips. Shaq. 10 Love and Basketball. That feels low for me. 9 Above the Rim. Tupac. Great soundtrack. 8 Uncle Drew. Uncle Drew ahead of Love and Basketball and Above the Rim makes this list absolutely invalid. 7 Hoosiers. 6 Hoop Dreams. 5 Space Jam. 4. So Like Mike is ahead of Hoop Dreams could be the best sports documentary in history. It's widely considered to be the best sports documentary in history. And Like Mike's ahead of it. 3 is Coach Carter. 2 is He Got Game. And 1 is White Man Can't Jump. So for me, this is interesting. Some of these placements I absolutely hate, but it's crazy how 1 and 2 are literally my 2 favorite basketball movies ever. Sidney Dean. I've probably seen White Man Can't Jump. Honestly, not even exaggerating, probably 40 times in my life. He Got Game. Funny story about He Got Game is my mom took me to see He Got Game after a Little League baseball game when I was in like 3rd grade. And she took a couple of my teammates because I was like, Mom, she knows I was a sports junkie and this and that. So she took all of us to see this movie because she thought it was a basketball movie. And then like 30 minutes in, my mom's hands on all of her eyes when Ray Allen and Rick Fox are banging those 2 white chicks. You know what I mean? It's just not the type of sports movie. And then I think like a month later, she took me to see Any Given Sunday, That was the first time I saw a dude's dong
Yeah.
on a screen. You know what I mean? So shout out to my mom for taking me to these sports movies that she thought were kind of like, I was like, can't we just see like Angels in the Outfield or something?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But how do you feel about that list? And what's your favorite basketball movie of all time? Me, it is White Man Can't Jump.
So for me, my favorite basketball movie of all time is He Got Game.
Yeah, it's close
And
second to
then
me, honestly.
honestly, White Man Can't Jump is in my top 3. It's third because I'm not gonna lie. I think Glory Road is one of the best basketball films I've ever watched. So that's in my top 3. And then I'll be honest, like Semi Pro not being in the top 5
That's
to me
crazy.
is crazy.
That has rewatchability.
I literally just told Rob, I'm like, if you had to pick a lot of these movies, Semi Pro is one of the easiest ones that you could watch 10
throw
times
it
in
on.
a row. Yeah,
Yeah.
like Semi Pro is one of the best basketball films ever. It's hilarious. The replay value is elite. So I would probably put that in my top 5. And I mean, ultimately, I would also put Hoop Dreams up there over. I'd probably put like Mike right at like 5-ish. Put Hoop Dreams right at 4.
Everybody love everybody.
Yeah.
In Semi Pro. No, the thing about Hoop Dreams, like if you have not watched it, like it's a long. I mean, there's.
Yeah,
I
like
remember
3 hours.
It was like 6. It's crazy. It's like literally 6 hours, and the documentarian had over 500,000 hours of footage.
Yeah.
So he kind of narrowed that all the way down. It's kind of between that and Ken Burns' Baseball for the best sports documentaries of all time, and it really captures that like early 90s, like kind of 80s aesthetic of like hoops in Chicago. It's a great documentary. I definitely recommend it. But yeah, I mean,
The sad part about Hoop Dreams is like the real stories behind those guys too. Like, especially even after like the documentary kind of wrapped up, like, those guys struggled to even get,
Arthur Agee, William Gates.
Yeah.
It kind of trying to go to Indiana. Yeah, it was a crazy time, really. I mean,
No mention of Space Jam though in this conversation. I mean,
I mean, Space Jam to me, I love Space Jam. I literally had like 4 pairs of Space Jam Jordans in my lifetime. I have one on ice that I still haven't rocked because I don't want to mess it up. I absolutely love Space Jam. I remember waiting months for the movie to come out so I could see it. I mean, for me, that's kind of one of those. I mean, Bill Murray was great in it. You had Wayne Knight who plays Newman from Seinfeld. That was great. Yeah, Space Jam was awesome. The Monstars was
for sure.
That's kind of the stretch scene at the end when he.
I believe I can fly.
I know. You know what's crazy? Yeah, when I went, see, that's the thing, man. Like, I still bump that song. You know what I mean? I was gonna put on my Instagram story a couple of months ago, but I guess I didn't. But yeah, Space Jam's a classic for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's that is the top 15 basketball movies. But that's gonna be over this episode of The Big Lead. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. And until next time,
I meet with the coach.
I am out.
We start talking. He runs out of the room.